H. Don King,
Daphne Johnson,
Kendall Alexander Richardson,
Donna Dossett Major,
Angelino Cooper,
Taisha Triumph Clare,
Chad Rutherford,
Ron Rogers,
Anne Marie Clinton Rowe,
Right Honorable Priest Rickman McKinney,
Rashay Sands,
Mr. Devon Emmanuel,
Charlotte Green,
Jason Gibson,
Cara Ellis,
Yvette Prince.
I'm Lincoln Bain, and I'm the leader of the Coalition of Independence. We are a group of Bahamians who have come together to be the change this country needs to see.
Change is here.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and thank you so very much for tuning in tonight. Of course, we are, as always, excited about the new Bahamas. There is just a few days left before the new Bahamas. I hope you're counting down because I know all of us are tired and all of us are ready for something new. There's officially 9 days, 12 hours, 13 minutes, and 55 seconds to the new Bahamas. 9 days, 12 hours, 13 minutes, and 45 seconds to the new Bahamas. Thank all of you all for your support. You know what to do. Please share. Everyone share. Share this several times. We have some information that is going on, some diabolical information that we have to share with you, even down to some things that the Parliamentary Register is doing that we're going to inform the public of tonight. That is extremely suspicious and diabolical. We may have to call for a protest at the Parliamentary Register in short order. And if we call you, please come, because there's some matters that have to be dealt with right away in order to save our democracy. There's some skullduggery that appears to be going on, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. But in the meantime, we're gonna inform you of what is happening. We have to save our country, and we have to do this without fear, and we have to do this fearlessly. So if you are Bahamian, if you are a patriot, it is time to stand up. It is time to stand up. We cannot let them steal this election or do anything to confuse the voters of this country. It's time for the new Bahamas. All right, and so thank you very much. We appreciate all of your efforts. We're going to be talking to several people today, several people who were victims of criminal actions, and some police reports were put in. Again, before I get started, I just want to inform all of you that this Saturday we're going to be having a motorcade. We want to block this country out. We need to show the entire Bahamas and all of these corrupt politicians that we have had enough. We're having a motorcade that is this time going to cover the northern side of the Bahamas. It's going to leave from Bailey Park. It's going to head north on Marathon Road. It's then going to head west on Wolf Road. It's going to go far as the University of Bahamas, and then head south on Thompson Boulevard. And then it's going to go as far as Big Pond Highway, the new Big Pond Highway that leads to the Sports Center. And it's going to head towards Blue Road and over to Corridor Avenue, over to East Street. We're then going to head south on East Street to Robinson Road and back to Bailey Park. And that is where we're going to have a rally. So we'll have refreshments, drinks, etc. there for persons who participated in the motorcade. And we are going to let them know that it's time for change. Somebody say blackout. It's blackout time. And this is where we are. And this is what's happening this Saturday. All right. I see some of you saying that there's someone that we needed to take out of the video. Yes, a new video was done already. So producer, make sure next time you launch that you have the new video, making sure that only our candidates are there, because we're going to have a conversation about that today. There's some diabolical things that has been done by this parliamentary registrar, and we need it to be paid attention to. All right. But first, I'm going to talk to you and some of the victims about what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, never before in the history of this country have the status quo been so afraid. Has the government been so afraid? Has the opposition been so afraid of another so-called party? This has never happened in the history of this country. They've always just ignored them, but they are fighting against us tooth and nails. When their weekly lies didn't work, they would come up with a new lie every week. And when it wouldn't stick, they went to a daily lie every week. When that didn't stick, they tried to fight against us in every way. They shut down the media, made sure the media wasn't covering us, and the media isn't paying attention to us. We'll more on that later. And now they started to form a fake party. Name it the coalition, because everyone is saying that they're voting coalition. And so they had some of their political prostitutes form a fake party. And the purpose of that is to confuse the general public. But that's one thing. But now that seems to not be working very well, even though they are up to no good, we're going to let you hear testimonies of what they're trying to do out there to confuse the in public, going door to door and telling persons that they're with me. They're with the Coalition of Independence and wearing black. Even as far as Bimini. Today, we got that information. This is the links that Philip Brave Davis and the PLP would allegedly go through to win this election, to steal this election. These are the links that they would go to. But ladies and gentlemen, they went to an even more diabolical link. And they decided to act like criminals. They decided to break the law. In fact, they decided to break the law, the Parliamentary Elections Act, and they decided to bribe some of our candidates. They decided to offer money to some of our candidates. I told my candidates, and I told some of you, after they saw what happened on Saturday with our motorcade, which legitimized us as a major political organization in this country, some people say a major party, in this country, I knew that they were coming. I knew that they were coming. And so they immediately started to try to reach out to several of our candidates. Now, of course, just like persons would always do things through surrogates so that you can't identify it to them, they have one fake party trying to copy us, and they have another fake party offering bribes to our candidates to get them to stand down. This is against the law. They started calling from fake numbers like North Carolina numbers or block numbers, but we tracked them down. We tracked down some of the perpetrators. And official police complaints have been launched on 3 islands, in Nassau, in Abaco, and in Grand Bahama. Official police complaints have been made. The police wanted to go and do a sting operation. We informed them that, listen, we are entrenched in elections right now, and we don't have time. We're going to report this. You do what you have to do, and we're going to let the public know in national security interests, because anything that goes against democracy is a national security issue. In the issue of our national security, we decided to go out here and tell the Bahamian public exactly what has been happening. And so I'm going to put the law up here for you because I want you to understand the law on this. And then I'm going to show you how we tracked down one of the persons behind this. And we recorded a conversation with him. At the beginning of the conversation, we informed him that he was being recorded. That part of the conversation is low. And when we gave it to the police, because we were recording it for legal purposes, we informed him, you are being recorded. Do you want to continue with this conversation? And the perpetrator said yes. And then he went on to admit everything and to state that they don't care. They're going to keep trying to bribe our candidates. They're not going to stop. The problem I have with this is that they're using pastors to do their dirty work. They are using so-called men of God, pastors, to do their dirty work. That is despicable and unconscionable that pastors are involved in this on many different levels. These sellout pastors are a disgrace to the cloth. And these are the people that they are using to do their dirty work. And so the person that you would hear us talking to on the phone is a pastor. And again, I would repeat, we told him that he was being recorded. We asked him if he wanted to continue the conversation. He said yes. And I couldn't believe the things I heard him say. I want to show you the law. Can you put the law up there for us, please? So that we can see it if you have it there. Please put the law up so that they can see exactly what it is, if you have it ready to go. All right. That's the Parliamentary Elections Act. If you have it ready to go, please put it up there so that people can see exactly what is going on. Parliamentary Elections Act, and that is Section 42 of the Parliamentary Elections Act. I guess they don't have it queued up, and so I'm just going to read it to you. I like when you see things, all right? But I'm going to read it to you. I'm pulling it up on my system. And so this is Section 42. Offenses relating to withdrawals, that is withdrawing from an election. And this is 42 subsection B. The following person shall be guilty of an offense against the act, namely, any person who corruptly induces or procures any other person to withdraw from being a candidate at an election in consideration of any payment or promise of payment, and any candidate withdrawing his candidature in pursuance of such inducement or procurement. So not only the person who tried to induce them or pay them or promise to pay them, but also the candidate committed an offense. I will read that again. The following person shall be guilty of an offense against this act, namely, any person who corruptly induces or procures any other person to withdraw from being a candidate at an election in consideration of any payment or promise of payment. So the payment didn't have to be made. They just had to say, I would pay you if you do. And any candidate withdrawing his candidature in pursuance of such inducement or procurement. So if someone decides to step down based on the promise, even if they didn't get the money, they have committed an offense. If someone offers or makes a promise of payment or anything, any inducement, any consideration, to a candidate to get them to drop out, they have committed an offense. This is the law. All right? This is the law. All right. So here we go. I'm going to let you hear for yourself, and then you're going to hear from some of these victims. All right? I'm going to let you hear this for yourself. We tracked down this person, called them, and spoke to him, and upfront asked him about what was happening. He was not the only person. He was one of them. I want you to hear this for yourself. Play that video, please.
Hey, Pastor Hepburn, how you doing? Hello. Pastor Hepburn, how you doing? Hello. Pastor Hepburn, how you doing? All right. Awesome. Just on recording this conversation. Is it okay? Right. Okay.
Hearing that you you're calling my candidates and making them offers to step down or come over to your party. You offering them, $1 million and to pay for their campaign and this kind of stuff. What's happening with that, man of God?
This is a campaign routine, but like I said, they all of them are over 18. They make their own decisions. I don't make the decisions for them.
So you think it's right for you to call my candidates, offering them money to get them to step down? They've already nominated.
Mr. Bain, this is campaign time, right? And I told you over 18, you make your own decisions.
Okay, so where y'all getting this money from?
It's up to them.
Where y'all getting this money from?
I really can't disclose that is confidential to our party.
Yeah, because I've spoken to persons, who have information about what's happening in your party, and y'all don't have money. Y'all do not. And you can see it because y'all have done nothing up to this time. Y'all have no paraphernalia. Y'all have not even any banners or anything. No, nothing. It's clear y'all don't have any money. It's clear that
that is not different. That is not thing. It's just that.
Y'all have all this money and it's just on the way. All right, let me say this. We need to run an honest and decent campaign, Pastor Hepburn. Yeah. And I don't know if y'all doing this for the PLP on the slip.
No.
I don't know. Because I know y'all don't have money. I know that for a fact.
We are the Grand Commonwealth Party. That's us.
Yeah.
This is not PLP, no half for them. We all in this for the change. You understand me?
Yeah, well, if we are in it for the change, I think what it would have been good to do was contact leadership of parties and decide to, before nomination, decide to have conversations and see how we can work together. Not like a deceitful person calling candidates one by one and offering them money that y'all don't have. I don't understand what y'all end game is. Whoever y'all have deceived so far people to come and run with y'all, so be it. But they are going to be very disappointed when they find out y'all don't have this money that y'all promising them that y'all have.
Well, time will convey that.
Okay, you promised candidates 1 million. Which one of them got their 1 million? Name one.
No, we don't disclose. We don't disclose.
You don't disclose. None of them got it.
We can't disclose.
All right, so I just wanted to reach out to you man to man because as you can see, we long-reaching arms, and we were able to figure out what y'all were doing. All right, even before the candidates came to us. All right, I'm going to advise you to stop. All right. We are fighting for this country. We are fighting for a change, and we will not be bought, and we will not be sold. All right?
And we will not.
That is it.
All right.
Stop. Oh, you will not stop trying to bribe our candidates?
No.
Go right ahead.
No. See, you misguided us. You're looking at the coalition government. Right? and we all make a change. And if we don't do it, then you ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't
Yeah,
nothing.
then go with the candidates you've put forward. If you have so much money, then you should have put forward candidates. You were not able to get 39 candidates or 30 any candidates, all right?
Were you able to?
We were able to get 37 candidates.
Okay.
All right.
You ain't got 39. You ain't got 39. Okay.
No, we didn't because we.
All right. So we.
Yeah.
If I get one and you get two, we still in the same.
But we chose not to. We could have had 39 candidates if we wanted
Why
to,
didn't you?
but our vetting system told us not to go. Now, I would say this to you, and I'm going to say this to you again. We are in a fight for this country, all right? Wherever, whoever is encouraging you to do what you are doing, I am telling you that we are not standing down and we are not selling out. Not a one of us, not me, and not any of our candidates are going to sell out. We are in this to win this. So you go tell Philip Rave Davis or whoever that is or whoever is behind y'all to get y'all to do this. You go tell them, we can see them on September 16th, and the Bahamian, whether they should take bribes or they should enter the New Bahamas. We know why they're targeting us. We know why they're going after us. And so that is it, and that is all. I'm ending this conversation. We are going to start the New Bahamas, and no amount of bribes and lies are going to stop that. Have a nice day.
And so we decided to do that because we're experiencing this on many different levels. As you heard, as clear as day, the gentleman was asked about why they're calling our candidates and offering them $1 million and to pay their campaign workers and to pay even for up to the next election. He said he isn't going to stop it. He's going to keep doing it. This is actually against the law. And so I heard some people say that this is staged, we set the man up to do this. But I will tell you that not only did we not set him up to do this, we filed an official police complaint. Our official police complaint was filed. Police headquarters is aware of it, and there's an active investigation going on now. I want to talk to the person who this person was attempting to bribe. That's Miss Antoinette Dean. She is with us all the way from in Abaco. Let's bring Antoinette Dean on with me. And we're sorry, the internet seems to be cutting in and out, so I hope this is going clear for everybody. Miss Dean, how are you doing today? Miss Dean, can you hear me? I think your mic is muted.
Yes, it was muted. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I am awesome. You had an exciting day today.
Yeah, very exciting.
And so this gentleman who is some kind of pastor decided to give you a call. What happened when he called you?
Well, when he called, just around 10 o'clock this morning, and he asked me, first of all, he introduced himself as a pastor. And I've been getting random calls, from the time we started campaigning. So it wasn't strange for me to get a call from a person I didn't know. He introduced himself as a pastor, and he gave me the name of someone familiar that he said that he had gotten my number from. And so that made me kind of a little at ease with him. And then he started to ask me about how my campaign was going and my funding and all that. And after a bit, I realized that this conversation was not just what I thought it was. He, at one point, asked me blatantly if he made me an offer I couldn't refuse if I take it. And that's where the shock, when I started to realize that this man was trying to bribe me. And promised that by tomorrow, if I took the offer, which was essentially for me to resign from the coalition, that I would have $40,000 in my account.
By today?
And, by tomorrow.
Okay.
And that also, that would be just for me. And they'd provide me with additional funding for my persons who would be working along with me on the campaign for the rest of this election and into the next 5 years. That he'd be also basically taking care of me. I wouldn't have anything to worry about. They have a lot of money, and it's this particular party and who's the leader and all this stuff. So, yeah, that was very interesting this morning. I was totally shocked.
Wow. But you heard me say that the money isn't here yet. It's 9 days to election, I guess, but the money isn't here yet.
Wow. Well, he said it was going to be there tomorrow. If I said today that I wanted to step down from the coalition, that I would have my money tomorrow. And then I'll join their party and everything will be about them. And I'd be a candidate and all this. And my thought was, if I've already nominated, nomination day is already passed. Why would I step away from my nomination to go to just do what? What would I be doing?
Yeah, and I want to interject there because some people is wondering about whether there's bigger people involved with this, whether the PLP or the FNM is involved with this, whether some oligarchs may be involved in this. And the fact of the matter is, an investigation is underway right now, and if we are able to connect anything, any phone calls, any emails, any WhatsApps, if we can connect anything, then we will bring that to the Bahamian people. But how these people work is they don't do things directly. They use surrogates. They use proxies to do their dirt so that they can walk away. But of course, if you had accepted, the next thing you know, you'd have had a meeting with someone from one of those other parties. And the next thing you know, you might have been wearing a yellow or red shirt. That is how it works. And Bahamian people keep falling for these same tricks, because we're not, some of us are not sophisticated enough to understand that this is how they work. They hide behind proxies to do all of their dirt. The same way prime ministers who do dirt, you can't ever accuse them. They can always say, you never talk to me. I never asked you for no bribe. You deal with someone who is close to them, but everyone knows is close to them, and you deal with that person. So that person would have to take the fall if something happens and the party doesn't get hurt. And so we see and we know, like I've said, we know where a meeting happened that on a boat that led to another party being formed and being called the coalition. All right, and there's more to come. Stay tuned. You're going to see something diabolical in a minute. And now we're seeing that these other people with certain connections, I'm not going to say it now because the investigation is being done, with certain connections are taking these actions. And now we're seeing where they're trying to buy out our candidates to get them to move on after they've been nominated. Antoinette, have you ever seen a so-called third party being gone after like this? Have you ever seen this?
No, not ever.
I can understand them trying to bribe and buy out, FNM candidates or PLP candidates. Why are you coming after coalition candidates?
Obviously, we are a threat. That's what it is. That's at the end of the day, because if we weren't, they wouldn't be noticing us. They wouldn't even take us into account. But obviously, we're making waves.
Yeah.
So
obviously they are. And I heard someone say that you should have taken the money because they feel that you're not going to win. I mean, I can let you answer that for yourself, but I'll tell you from my standpoint is, let me tell you something. This is about principle. There are some Bahamians who stand on principles, win, lose, or draw. There are Bahamians who stand. This is not a game. This is our lives we are dealing with. This is our children's lives we are dealing with. This is not a sport, your team against my team. This is our lives and our future. There are people suffering. There are people dying because of the state of this hospital. There are people dying in this country. There are people starving in this country right now. There are people living on the streets right now, and you're talking about who's going to win? Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, the people of the Bahamas have a choice, and they can decide if they're voting just because that's their party and continue to suffer in this country, or if they're going to stand up for once for what is right in this country. Maria Daxon, come join me on here as I expose the rest of what's been going on. Maria Daxon has joined me. Attorney Maria Daxon. And Antoinette Dean is there. We got a couple others who are going to join us in a second. All right? Someone says, who's the young lady that I'm speaking with? That's Miss Antoinette Dean, the young lady Um, she's the candidate for South Abaco. She is a banker by her profession, by history. She's worked with fraud a lot in the banking industry. She's worked for Commonwealth Bank and Bank of the Bahamas. And she is phenomenal and very experienced and very qualified. And that is why she's here. And so, Maria Dobson, you heard that recording. I've read the law. How do you feel about what you experienced?
That is criminal. That is more like bribery. Because listening to this man, he have no remorse. It's like he's aggressive, he's forceful. He's standing on his grounds and he's trying to really convince this young lady that, look here, it is better for you to take this money than for you to be out there on the coalition team. And for him to do that, this is despicable, my fellow Bahamians. This is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that we have parties out there involved in this sort of corruption, I just can't believe it.
Wow.
Why are these parties fooling up with our candidates? Y'all say y'all have it together. Y'all don't need to approach none of our candidates. Let us win this election fair and square. Let the Bahamian people decide who they want to represent them in Parliament. This is about integrity now.
Mm-hmm.
This is about honesty. This is about accountability, transparency, and good governance.
Yeah.
That's what this team is all about. It is time for change in this country. My fellow Bahamians, this sort of corruption should not be allowed to multiply in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And this man needs to be locked up, charged, and put before the courts. Because he's admitting certain things. He ain't denying nothing, you know. He is admitting what he did. And he had no remorse.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's being protected by who?
I know the boss is today. I clearly said, you're being recorded. All right? We are taking evidence. And he's talking. He's like, we don't care. They're adults. They can decide what they want to do. He didn't care. You know, and then this is where we are. If Trevor Green on the other piece on, please bring him on the screen. Trevor Green was another victim last night who they were trying to bribe. But not last night, 2 nights ago. And so Trevor Green is here. He is our candidate for South and Central Andres. I think that's the way to say it. Mango Key in South and Central Andres. Trevor Green, welcome.
Stefan.
Oh, that's Stefan. They brought Stefan on. Oh, sorry about that. I can't see the small screen in front of me. Stefan, you had an experience. Well, is Trevor Green or Ms. Alberta Cooper available now? We're trying to get them connected. We'll be don't have internet problems with them. But Ms. Alberta Cooper and Ms. Trevor Green also experienced this bribery. I think we have them connected yet. Hopefully we can get them on shortly. Trevor Green was called. He's a South Andres candidate. And Trevor Green was offered money in order to step down also. He was offered, I mean, these people are just so cold and diabolical. I've never heard of this before. Never. In all my years of politics. And so he was offered the same way. Trevor Green also is an ex-police officer. He has a master's degree now in education. He left the police force, and so he knows the crime and he has one. And so immediately when he got off the phone with them, he started contacting executives of the party to let them know this is what happened. It's a North Carolina number. We have to get on this because these people are dangerous.
Yes.
Right? They're dangerous. This is a blight against democracy. And some people may say, listen, you need to focus on talking about your plans, your natural results, et cetera, et cetera. But let me tell you something. This right here that we're experiencing, is one of the reasons our country is in the state that it's in.
Yeah.
Because they come every election and buy people out so that they can continue to take this country into the ground, to destroy this country while only them are making money. This is what we have to fight against. They are going around this country and bribing people with $50 and $100 and promises. They're now trying to buy out candidates in our organization. And so if you think that we're not serious about this, we made police complaints. Miss Antoinette Dean, did you make a police complaint today about this, reference to this?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And
I
so
did.
how did the police receive you? Because I know this is not the normal complaint that they would deal with.
Well, I guess they might have been even as shocked as I was in terms of when I started with I told them what the complaint was about. Yeah, so they were they did their jobs well. They, took the statement and did what they had to do. So yeah, they followed through.
Awesome. And so police complaints were made, that's in Abaco. Another police complaint was made in Grand Bahama, in East Grand Bahama. Miss Alberta Cooper, who has a lot of experience in government. She was in local government from it started, being the first female and only female chief counselor and the first deputy chief counselor. And she has a lot of experience. She's a no-nonsense woman. And so immediately she reported it to us, and we reported it to the police, okay? And so we need a new Bahamas, y'all. These are the kinds of things we need to change. I want to pivot here, and so if those guys come up, can you pop them up on the screen for me, producer? Because I know you can't talk to me. Pop them up on the screen so that we know exactly what's happening, because I want you to hear from them, their experience of getting this call. Can you imagine getting the call? You just want to be a candidate, you just want to run. And you get a call about $1 million to just drop out of the race right now. I think yours was 40,000, Antoinette, is that correct?
Well, it was 40,000 and up to 100,000. Because 40,000 was just for me. That was the deal that I was supposed to get just 40 just for me. Wow. that was emphasized that this goes straight into your account, and then that's you do whatever you want, and then we give you additional funding for all the persons who would be working for you or with you, and whatever else you need for your campaign. So, and they would take care of me for the next 6 or 7 years until the next election.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm.
To get that kind of call with people making you feel like you're so valuable. I mean, all this money is being offered to the coalition now. That means that we are really valuable. They're telling us that we're valuable. Mm-hmm. The guy admitted that he's going to keep calling my candidates. That means that we are valuable. They see us having value. They're not calling PLP and F&M candidates or any other candidates. They're calling us, Maria.
I noticed that. I think, what I have a problem with? It's like, this corruption is acceptable. We got to bring about a change in this country, Lincoln. We got to show the Bahamian people that this corruption should not be able to multiply. We got to put a stop to this corruption. Mm-hmm. Because you know what is going to happen in another generation if we don't stop and think what we are doing is wrong. These people have no conscience. And for this pastor, who's supposed to be a man of God, who's supposed to be on the pulpit, setting example to his congregation, to his family, his friends, for him to think that this was acceptable, this is corruption to the utmost, and taking the corruption to the pulpit.
Yeah.
God is not pleased, Mr. Bain, my fellow Bahamian, God is not pleased with this sort of corruption in this country. It must stop. When are we going to stand up and say enough is enough? Time for change in this country.
And so that pastor's name is Mr. J. Hepburn. That's correct, right? That's his name. Mr. J. Hepburn. That's his name. A police complaint has been filed against him. I think that's his name. I hope I got it right. There's another pastor in Grand Bahama that a complaint was made against. All right? Another pastor that a complaint was made against. These pastors are coming and getting all up in these political, situations. I don't know, I guess for filthy lucre. And there's another person called Uric, who attempted to bribe South Andres. I think South Andres is on the line now. South Andres, Mr. Trevor Green, welcome.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Man, listen, how did it feel to get that $1 million call?
Wow. I was home, sitting down on the front room floor, enjoying my time with my 7-year-old. You know, I got a call, and I smiled when I heard Antoinette talking about the initial introduction, because that's the same one they used for me. Then they went into telling me that they're willing to give me whatever I want to drop out this race, and basically just give them a number, and then I would assist them in South Andres. Now they text me a name and some other information, and mind you, the first thing I when I got the call, I just stepped back. It was a North Carolina number, so I thought the call was coming from a family member. You know, so I put it in WhatsApp, and I text back, tell them to call me back, and they introduced themselves as Yorick Sands from South Andres, a candidate in the South Andres race. And what it did to me, I spoke to my children about it, you know, and I said, this person tell me they could, you know, just call a figure, you know. So one of them say, boy, Daddy, that sounds good. I say, think about this now. If I tell them, if they give me $1 million, that $1 million, that may last a little while, yeah. But then me as an adult, I have to think now about my 7-year-old, you know, and my other children. What's going to be in what is going to be in it for them when this $1 million run out? You know, what's going to be in it? All those persons down in South Andres, Central Andres, Mangrove Key, and the Bahamas at large, all those young children, all those adults that need the assistance, all those persons living in cars, all those persons homeless living in tents. What is it going to be? What's going to be in it for them? How is that going to help them? Am I to be selfish? You know, and just think about me and mine? I tell them, no, I can't do that. There's too much at stake here. Too much suffering. Too much need. You know, sometimes I was telling Lincoln the other day, I say, boy, you know, going through my constituency, the old folks, when I look at their homes, holes in the roof, the walls dirty, you know, it did something to me, you know, and you know, for that person to do that, to offer me something so selfish, you know, it really made me feel as though, you know, what did I do to deserve something like that? You know,
why don't they take that $1 million and go and help those people in South Andres with their homes that you looking up, old people, you can see the sky when you look up in their homes. People whose homes are dilapidated. Why don't you take that $1 million to go help people? Why are you doing that to bribe someone to win an election?
It's sickening, you know. It's really sickening. And something went on my mind. I remember the old lady, one of the old persons down there telling me that when the rain comes, she have to pull a mattress from side to side to avoid getting wet. And if they have this type of money, why don't they use it to help the people?
Thank you.
You know, the people need help. You have to help the people too much. One set of people benefiting from these trillions of dollars. It is morally wrong.
Exactly.
Wrong. We should not have, you know, the Bible talks, I believe the Bible speaks that if you neglect your elderly, you're worse than an infidel. Come on, man. Do something. It's wrong.
Someone said this is a prank call. They believe that was a prank call, and isn't that serious? Do you believe that was a prank call?
That was not a prank. That was not a prank call.
Look in my eyes. That was not a prank call. That was a scripted call. Like I said, just how they started with her, they started with me.
Wow.
The only difference is when they got to the part about telling me that I can choose a figure, whatever number to step down, I started preaching. Because it bothered me to think that you would think that I would be such a person to neglect the Bahamian people, to turn my back on so many people who have welcomed me in their home in the South, Central, and Mangrove Key constituency.
Wow.
You know, that bothered me. That hurt. The thing that you would think that I would be that selfish. I was never that selfish, you know, growing up. You know, what is it? It caused me to question, what is it about me that could make you think that I would turn my back on the people? What is it about me? I hope now that you have a clear understanding of my commitment to the Bahamian people. And yes, I did make a police report.
So you filed a police
yes, I filed an official police report with the police. Yes, I did.
Oh, wow. Awesome. And so you told them the name and you gave them the phone number.
I gave them the name, the phone number. I gave them, as a matter of fact, I sent a copy of the text that they sent me. I sent it to the officer who was taken, and he copied it and attached it to the file.
Awesome. Awesome. We are an organization that is going to be strong against corruption. Strong. And so we're starting from now. We're not playing with it. We're strong against corruption. I want to show you guys what is starting to happen. We know that, we suspect that the PLP called another party to be formed and carried a similar name to ours in order to cause confusion. And we've seen that these people have gone around from door to door saying that, they're us, that they're with me and wearing black shirts, etc. And so we've shown that. Now, here's where it gets more serious. When we look at the Parliamentary Register's website, something strange is there based on what it appears is about to be going on the ballot. The first name there is Ms. Donna Dorset Major, who is our candidate for this next election, Ms. Donna Dorset Major, for Baintown. Now, next to her name is not the logo, the symbol of the Coalition of Independence. It's the cross, which is the symbol of another party, the BCP. And so this starts with confusion. Remember, I told you that based on everything I'm seeing from the Parliamentary Register, that this election is going to be helter-skelter and pure confusion based on what I'm seeing. I am calling out the Parliamentary Register right now. A whole party was formed to confuse Bahamians as to who they should vote for, because we are a threat. They put Donna Dorset Major right here. Donna Dorset Major, her name is here, but next to her name is the cross. But that's one thing. Here's the other part. The fake party that formed has a candidate, all right, for Baintown. Her name is Miss Brenda Harris. They put our logo next to Miss Brenda Harris. Look at it.
No way.
Under the F&M right there. So it's the coalition, it's the BCP, then the DNA symbol there, then the PLP, then the F&M, then the coalition symbol, but it is next to Brenda Harris, the person who is running for the fake coalition.
Oh my
that
God.
Is diabolical.
Yes, it is.
And it has COI next to her name.
And the symbol.
And our symbol. Coalition of Independence. This is on the government's website.
My God.
Bahamas, if y'all don't see that they are threatened by us yet, something is wrong. If y'all don't see that this is your chance to take back this country and benefit from what's happening, and that there are some people who will pay any amount of money to stop you from benefiting this country, something is wrong with you. This is the official government. This is what's going on the ballot.
No, sir.
That can't. No, that can't.
That can't work.
So our chairman, another one of our executives, went there today to try to get some explanation as to why this would happen. She spoke to Errol Bethel. Okay? Errol Bethel, who is the co-parliamentary commissioner or whatever. It's a confusing situation.
Yes, it is.
Errol Bethel basically said to her, well, he has to investigate it. He went up there, said, yes, look at the ballot or look at what's going on. He said, no, it isn't a cross next to her on the ballot. It's a teacup. She said, what? A teacup? So maybe the person who told him it's a tea. And he assumed they said teacup. I don't know. I can't understand this Bahamas. Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what's happening at the parliamentary register. This is corruption. We sent a list. This is what they instructed us to do. Of all of our candidates who are to go next to our logo to them. They instructed us to do this. We did that. Yet, they still put our logo next to someone else's name. Also, on this document on their website, sorry, I don't think we have a screenshot for that, but they're still putting this fake coalition's full name with United Coalition Party in there because it's going to confuse people as to which coalition it is. They assured me that they would not have that name appear anywhere with coalition on it because it would confuse the public.
Right.
Now this is a legal matter. Maria, I think it might be time to go to court. It's time to deal with these corrupt persons who are trying to steal this country.
But again, I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Bepper. Trust me, by tomorrow, it will be solid.
The ballots are already printed and sealed.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Who don't make you to put that one back? Mr. Bepper, I'm paging you tonight. You need to put that one back. Lincoln, they're going to have to pull that particular one back for Babu Town. There's no way we going to allow that to happen. Trust me, Mr. Bepper, I'm calling on you tonight, paging the Honorable Marvin Dames. This situation needs to be corrected forthwith, sir.
I just posted the website.
You did?
Yes, right there.
Good. This needs to be corrected, Mr. Dames. You need to go pull back those ballots if they're already being printed. Because you know what the issue is going to be? They have another issue. We have an advance poll on Thursday.
Yep.
And there are some persons in the Baytown area that will be voting in the advance poll. So tonight, I am paging Mr. Dames. Errol Bethel need to be corrected, sir. You all need to correct this tomorrow morning by 9 a.m. We will be there. The team will be there tomorrow to sort this out. We can't allow this to happen.
And so this is the kind of fraud they're already starting in this election. This is their official site. And so our chairman speaking to him was like, how could this happen? He said, maybe she didn't give the letter that authorized, meaning our candidate, maybe she didn't give the letter authorizing her to use our logo. And so if that is the case, then why is her name appearing with another party's logo?
Thank you very much.
That you can see on the rest of the information that logo is next to another party. Why is she with another party's logo? And why then is Brenda Harris next to our logo? When obviously she didn't get a letter from us.
Thank you very much. Or they have a fraud thing.
They have a fraud party, so maybe they have a fraud letter.
Thank you very much. Let's be realistic now. How did this woman name get towards our logo? How did it happen? Someone either was intentional or was a mistake. Just admit that it was a mistake. Because this woman, we don't even know who this woman is. You know what, Lincoln?
Yeah, I know. She was a candidate for the DNA last time, and she left the DNA. And she was going to run independent. She decided to join up with the Congress Party.
Oh, okay.
The PLP secondary party, I'll call it.
You sure you don't give her the letter, Lincoln?
I ain't give her no letter.
Okay.
You give her letter?
Not me. I don't even know.
Well, how she get a letter?
I don't know.
She didn't present him with a letter. Okay. All right? And so this is where the problem lies, ladies and gentlemen. And so why I have a problem with this is because people are going door to door and saying that they are with me. Ladies and gentlemen, we posted in The Guardian today the list of our candidates. All right, there's one we have to remove, but it was already paid for in The Guardian and settled, so that won't be removed in today's paper or tomorrow's paper. It's going to be the Tribune tomorrow. Our candidates are on the second page of The Guardian today. All right, the second page of The Guardian. Yes, not only the FNM and PLP have ads in The Guardian, Tribune. All right. Tomorrow in the Tribune, you're going to see our candidates again. All right. On Thursday, again, you're going to see our candidates in the newspaper. All right. You're going to see all of this. You're going to start to see our ads on TV also. You're going to see our billboards going up everywhere. Only vote for the people who whose names that we put out there. Pay close attention. Go to our website. See who the real persons are. Vote for those persons. Only those persons. Okay? And that is it. And that is all. We have to stay focused, Bahamas. Bahamas. Up to last year, they were not talking to you about natural resources at all. Right. When this thing started to swell, because we presented evidence. Evidence, not talk. People have been talking about this, but we presented documentation. They started to jump and say, oh, we don't really have natural resources. And then they said the natural resources aren't worth anything. So first, we had no natural resources. Then the natural resources were worth nothing. Then after we keep dropping documents and proof and evidence and bank accounts overseas and filing complaints overseas, all of a sudden the Prime Minister started to admit, yeah, there's some money out there.
Thank you.
And then the Attorney General started to admit, yeah, a lot of money has been made, but payments haven't gotten anything from it. This their words, no, not me. And it's like, well, why weren't you talking about this before? Why were you lying and saying there's no money in it? Now the Attorney General is saying billions and billions have been made by the cosmetic industry alone. Billions have been made. Bahamas, they're telling you that we are selling dreams. I want you to not watch just what they say. Watch what they're doing. If we are selling you dreams, then they still have nothing to worry about. Why are they fighting us? Because they know that every word we have said is the truth. Everything we have said from day one, we have called names. We've named names. We've given you their addresses, their bank accounts. We've shown you everything. They have not been able to question one word. We said, Bahamas, please, we have to fight for this. We have one chance. One chance. And so while we showed you people who were campaigning in black before, we showed you the evidence in Bimini today. Now, we expected this in Nassau. But in Bimini today, while going out campaigning, our candidate that we just sent over to Bimini says that he got word that there was someone else from our coalition representing us and calling my name was there. Is Stephen Hall still on here with us? Is Stephen Hall still there? Let's put Stephen Hall. Stephen Hall, today you were in Bimini campaigning. And you got some word that there's an imposter coalition. I mean, why are people out there copying the PLP and the FNM? If since they the big party, why do they don't go and lie and say, well, I'm the PLP candidate, vote for me? Wouldn't that make some sense? If the PLP is so valuable and they're going to win this, why did they go in the yellow shirt and say, listen, I'm the PLP candidate. My name is John Doe. Because it's only going to be the symbol and the name. So why don't they go out there and say, vote for me? I'm with the PLP. Why are they doing this to us? Stephen, what did you experience today?
Yeah, first of all, let me say the reception. I'm so proud of Bimini, man. The residents from Bimini are treating me with so much. Oh man, it is a blast in Bimini. The people love the Coalition of Independence. They love the plans that we have for them. They love all the initiatives that we're putting forward. I was in South Bimini today. I had a guy. He's a white fellow, and he carried me to show me some of the sinking boats that were polluting the waters. He showed me garbage that were left for days and days. And you know, these guys they really want change. I went to a residence where this lady named Becky, you know, she was doing so much for the community in the hurricane, or when we had the bad storm. She was feeding hundreds of people daily off her own purse. I told her that she's a national hero. That's the one that I called you about. She was in the
but
bathroom.
speak today. She is a national hero.
Oh man, she was awesome. Her daughter died, God rest her soul, and she's trying to get her some resources. So upon my return to the north side of Benin, started my canvassing, and I approached some young men, and they asked me. They said, "Okay, we're seeing you." I didn't have on my shirt. I was with the chairman, and I didn't have on my shirt. But they know me from the last time I was there about a week ago. So they say, "Which one are you?" I say, "Which one am I? which coalition are y'all?" So I'm like, "There's only one coalition of independence." They say, "No, man." Somebody else saying they with Lincoln Bean, and so I'm like, "What?" So the other guys would inform me, "Yeah, they think the verbiage is wrong. They're saying the collision. They're not saying I think it's United, whatever it is. They're just stating it collision and then Lincoln Bean. So it's causing confusion." All right. So the guy told me he called Nassau to Jackie to clarify what was going on. He said, "Man, y'all got to bring clarity to that." So I think the issue is we need to bring clarity. They want me to bring clarity that I am the candidate for the Coalition of Independence. I am Stefano, the candidate for Western Bahama and Bimini. So they just want me to come on here tonight to clarify that to the Bimini residents.
So, Stefano, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is fraud. That's what I see. This is fraud.
Yeah.
So, do you think that? Because I see the fake coalition has a candidate named Hiram Rowland there. Do you think he may have been the person doing that?
Yeah, I think he probably might have said that, that he supported Lincoln Bean, because I know Hiram Road really well. He's a good friend of mine. He was running in the Pine Ridge area, and I know when they merged, I got a call from him stating that they wanted him to run in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, and I told him to use your own discernment, use your own intellect, because you know that they only want to split votes. All right, that's the only thing. You're from Bimini, and that's the only thing that they can come up with. You're a man. You're a man of great morals. Use your discernment. And so he made a decision clearly, and he went to go with being a candidate. And what's so funny about it is we know each other. We all know the same people. I'm introducing the people from Bimini. I just don't get it. I don't know if the individuals want to fight for country or for self. See, Lincoln, I put self behind country in this one. This country for me.
Yeah.
This skin in the game.
Yeah.
I am over here fighting for a nation. This is not a joke. These people have this for a joke. Mm-hmm. This is not a game for me. I don't have time to listen. We don't have another shot at this. There is one candidate for the Coalition of Independence. That's Stefano and West Grand Bahama and Bimini. That is the choice. We are the future. So we just want to bring clarity to that. Hiram, like I say, Hiram is from Bimini. He's a resident of Bimini, so they know Hiram. Okay, so I don't bash any candidate, but I just want clarity to be brought so the people can understand who is who, because it's confusion. It's already confusion. So now I have to wear my shirt everywhere I go. I gotta wear it when I sleep. I gotta wear it when I wake up. I gotta wear it everywhere because they need to see this logo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think
we're gonna flood the town with our logos, with our logo and our stuff, so people can see exactly what's going on, exactly who we are, because they know that they're afraid and they're terrified. With Bahamas, it's not just up to us; it's up to you. So some of you are falling for ministry. It's a political trick to call a snap election so that you won't have time, because you only have 3 weeks to really campaign and get door to door. It's a political trick. Are you going to fall for it and say, well, I didn't see them, so I'm just going to vote for someone else, or I'm not going to vote? That's their plan. Yeah. That's how they plan to outsmart you. Don't fall for that. Don't let your family and friends fall for that. No, we may not get to every door, but you know what the cause is. Yeah. You know what the fight is. You have to stand up. They have never fought against a so-called third party like this in the history of this country. Maria, that motorcade on Saturday blew the PLP away.
Of course it did.
Did you see the full PLPs on the side of the road?
Yes, I did.
Even they said Bernadette Christie was on the side of the road.
Yeah, I saw her.
And she looked shocked.
Yeah. I was quite surprised to know that all these aliens and came out and decided to join them in the game. And you know why I was shocked? Because we didn't have no money to give them. They decided to use their Bahamian flags. They decided to decorate their cars and just come out there to support us in this fight. Think if you give them some money, because I get them that. I just tell my...
They told me that there was voice notes going around saying we paid all those people. Boy, that's a lot of money. That means we spent millions on one motorcade. If we spent money for all those people, that's a lot of money. How much do you think I could have given them?
Okay. It was nothing. It was because they believe in what our fight is. And this is what this fight is for the people, you know. The Bahamian people believe in what this fight is all about. And this reminds me when they used to talk about Cylinder. When Cylinder went in there, he didn't have that much money the first time.
He had no money.
He had no money.
None of his team had money. All of it broke.
All of it broke. But what they did, they come together and they make it happen. It was the Bahamian people who was out there fighting them, pushing them. So to me, you need to do this for the Bahamian people. So Bahamians tonight, I want to tell you, we are doing this for the Bahamian people. We want a better Bahamas for the next generation. Our generation have already been wrong. We cannot allow this to continue to happen, Lincoln. You got to fight for a better Bahamas for the Bahamian people. For the old people who are coming up. You can imagine, we still need a new hospital. We still need a new Bronx, Lincoln. Watch what is happening, my fellow Bahamians. It is sad. Today I received information. They are telling me that Renwick Branch and Dr. Minnis knew from last year that this pandemic was going to increase. They haven't bought any new beds. They haven't bought any new materials for no ventilation, a system for the hospital. What happened? Why? We have to keep begging these persons in government to do what's right by the Bahamian people. It is not medication they short of. They was already knew what this situation is going to be like. We going into the fourth wave now, my fellow Bahamians. What additional things did Dr. Minnis and his team did? Nothing. Why you still have those persons what are being tested positive in the hospital, mixing up with other persons who don't have the COVID? Why?
I want to ask this as we go.
Okay.
I want to ask this quickly. The media is fighting hard against the Coalition of Independence. You will see stories where they'll get the opinions of anybody. You know, if Brave Davis, you know, just says, you know, the sky is green today, that's going to make headlines. You know, and then they're going to get another third party's comments on it. Then they get another one, you know, but they will avoid us like the plague. They want to pretend that we're not there. If we had the same event with all these people, they pretend they will cover all of them and pretend we're not there. That's what they're doing. Let me show you how diabolical they are.
Right?
This is the diabolical media that we're dealing with in this country, owned by the oligarchs. Rev Bahamas, that's Cable Bahamas. Rev Bahamas is doing a survey right now. They're spreading false surveys, Bahamas, to sway your vote. They're spreading false polls, like that Intel Key fake poll that they did. There's another fake poll by Rev Bahamas. Many of you would have gotten a text today. And that text would have told you that Rev Bahamas is doing a poll. But in that poll, they're asking you about political leaders. Man, listen, producer, put that up on the screen, please. Put any one of them, finish up on the screen. They're asking you about political leaders. And they list...
Just before we actually get to that, forgive me. This is the reason that I had put myself on here. Apparently, the St. Anne's candidate for the Coalition of Independence is also not being shown on that list. I was trying to get it so that I could bring it up on the screen for everyone to see as well. But Shanice Miller, our St. Anne's candidate, is also not being shown on that list.
Our candidate for St. Anne's. My Lord. My Lord. And this is the Parliamentary Register. These highly paid professionals jacking up this election, I believe, intentionally.
Yes. So much mistakes, Lincoln.
And these simple mistakes.
Thank you very
If
much.
you have a list, and if the person literally went there and filed their documents, they should be there. What's this going on?
Yeah.
And
They
you
have
should have.
processed skullduggery already. They've started already. They are getting ready for election court if we win. They admitted that. We had a meeting with all the leaders of the different parties. Bannister and Dr. Nigel Lewis was there for the FNM. And Dr. Nigel Lewis is insisting that they can't reduce the amount of people that they have in the poll, even though it'll be overcrowded, because they have to have certain things ready for election court. They didn't need to be able to get certain information for election court.
But
my thing name is, what election court?
thank you very much.
What election court? He went quiet. They want to stall. Remember, Bahamas, everything I tell you, it always comes to pass. These politicians don't even know how to pivot. They continue with the nonsense even when they're exposed. I want you to show them Rare Bahamas. Rare Bahamas, Cable Bahamas was built on money from our national insurance, from NIB. They came here with no money and used our NIB money to build this. Our money. We didn't benefit from that.
Sir?
They used our NIB money.
Sir, being NIB on Cable Bahamas?
The government has a certain amount of shares. All right? I don't know if they still have them, but that is how they funded it. They do this for foreigners when they won't do this for Bahamians. You think they'll take NIB money unless you open a company like that? No. This is why we need the new Bahamas. Put that back up on the screen. I want people to see this survey that they were sending around, because this is diabolical. I want all of you all to see this. Look at that survey. They asked a question in that survey. All right? And they asked a question about how confident are you in the following party leaders? Please use the slider below to evaluate your level of confidence on 100% scale, etc., right? Philip Brave Davis, Arindia Komalafe, and Ali McIntosh. Man, they put Ali McIntosh there. They better enter there.
So where you at?
This is Cable Bahamas doing a actual poll.
So where you at, like that?
Bahamas, do you all see this?
Yeah.
This their poll. Look, they put Ali McIntosh there. They put Arindia there. And so persons called me, they bring my phone off the hook today. How in the world can they put a poll there?
That will put you.
And the person who has clear momentum, a following in this country, I say that humbly, and not saying that to say that we're egotistical at all. We're not. But I'm saying, why wouldn't we be included if this is a legitimate survey? So this is the survey that they're going to probably use during election night to say, oh, this is what the surveys were. People want to see this one, that one. Oh, Lincoln got 0 votes. Or they'll add me later after people have voted. This is the trick it polls. But they can't vote anymore because you could only vote once. They'll say, oh, we didn't add Lincoln. Let's add him now. And so people who have already voted can't vote anymore. So my numbers would look low. This is what the Intel Key poll did. They started last November sometime. We didn't form until March. And so when we mentioned to them, if you want to see the real thing, why don't you start this poll over? That's what they did. Show them the next screenshot. This Cable Bahamas, you're supposed to be a legitimate company. This borders on fraudulent. They asked another question here. I'm waiting for it to come on my big screen so I can read it for you properly. This borders on fraudulent, Cable Bahamas. You see, and our news has been ignoring us all this time. They've been ignoring us. and tell the story of someone leaving. Our party came up, and they had that all over the internet. Our news, they sponsored it.
You serious?
They paid. Now this broadcasting company. They sponsored the ad to say that someone left our party. That shows you that this whole thing was planned and diabolical.
Yeah.
They put up an ad saying this person left our organization and sponsored the ad. Sponsored it. They paid on Facebook to spread it. That's what these oligarchs are doing. Bahamas, are y'all awake yet? Now look at this one. It says, and now think about personalities. Who do you think would do a better job of managing these issues? Which leader? They got people who are not even leader of a party. They got Dwayne Sands, Desmond Bannister, Wendy Komalafe, Leonard Santa Martin, Hubert Minnis, Chester Cooper, Philip Herb Davis, and Ali McIntosh.
They know what you mean, these people.
Maria, half an hour, so I just been out with the game.
I was about to say.
We represent a strong
Thank you very much.
chunk of the Bahamian people. They believe in what we are talking about. This is anti-democracy. We have nominated more than 30 candidates. We are a major organization in the country. Bahamas reject Cable Bahamas on election night. Let them show their ads to themselves. Tune into some other station. In fact, after this, we were spending lots and lots of money on ads. We're going to spend their ads are over $700. It's going to be, when you add back and all that, almost $1,000. Between $800 to $1,000 for each ad that we were going to pay for the next 10 days until election on their station. When we saw this, we pulled our ads. And so we're not going to have our ads on this station anymore. They don't care. They just don't want to lose those billions, those oligarchs.
Yes.
They don't want to lose those billions. And so they don't want us to become the government of this country. They feel that we are a threat, Bahamas. Okay? And so someone said the question. They said these questions don't speak to leaders, though. Yeah, but it speaks to influences in politics. And if you look at the names they put there, they are all leaders of different political organizations. Mm-hmm. Okay? The first question there. All right? And so we're hearing, we're just getting a message that our candidate for St. Anne's, Shanice Miller, is not on the ballot. So we have one candidate, and we're just going through this evening. One candidate who they put a different party logo next to her name, and put someone else who's running for that constituency next to our logo. I mean, this you can't make this stuff up. And then another candidate is not on the ballot. Bahamas, we have become a failed state. We were known for elections. There's one thing we could get right is elections. That's our culture. One thing all Bahamians coming for is to vote. You can't mess up elections. You can't. This is what they teach me on the police force when I was in training. I know they teach you this, Maria. You can't start off wrong and end up right.
That is true.
They teach you that, Trevor?
Yeah.
You are say that.
You can't start off wrong and end up right.
Thank you.
If you try to draw a line and you start scribbling, no matter how far you take that line, that still is incorrect. If you start drawing a circle and you draw a straight line, no matter how much you curve the rest of it, it's still not a circle. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the foundation of society, of our democracy. When people go to vote, they expect that the person they are voting for is represented and represented properly. When you go to the parliamentary register's website, you expect that you are getting legitimate information. They
Yes.
tell you don't go and get the information on social media, right? So it is expected that if you go to a legitimate government website, it should represent properly. Bahamas, we got one shot of this. I hope you all see what's happening. The media is trying to block us out because they know the truth. They're putting out fake polls, all real polls, where you see the vote instantly. Intel key, you vote, and then they tell you trust them to tell you what the results was later. And whatever they say it is, that's what it is. Not like the Facebook polls where you can vote and you can instantly see what the results is. Where you can see, oh, there were 10 people who voted for COI. Now I vote for COI, now that's 11. That looks legitimate to me. All right? I know I think about me while I laugh. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, they're so persistent. All right, so, all right, talk with Zach and Maria.
Famous tonight. I want to encourage each one of you, when you go to the poll, just remember something. Just look for the Bahamian colors. The black.
No, it's going to be black and white. Look for that.
They can be black. They put the yellow on it, Lincoln?
No.
Why are they putting the yellow there?
It's going to be in black and white only.
Oh my God.
All the logos are going to be black and white. So the FNM Torch is going to be in black and white. The PLP's hand is going to be in black and white. And our logo is going to be in black and white.
Why they change it down? No way.
They ain't safe.
Yeah, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a qualified group of persons. If you look at the screen right now, it's a London trained lawyer, ready to become Minister of National Security. Not only does she have the academic qualifications, she has the social qualifications. She has been standing up for Bahamians for so long, being victimized over it. Arrested over it. She is taken a blows for the Bahamian people. Bamboo Town, do something. If you want to be represented properly, we gave you a qualified London-trained lawyer who has been fighting for the people. The man in front of you, Trevor Green, has a master's degree in education. In fact, in extraordinary education.
Special ed.
He is training our disabled children. That's his focus. To be able to survive in society. He's been doing that. He's been going above and beyond, giving his social, showing his social prowess, showing you that he believes in people. Those people that we neglect and that we hide in our homes and we think that they're never going to be nothing in life. He has committed his life. He had a good career on the police force. Yes, he committed his life. He looked at some disabled people and said, no, I can't see that way anymore. I have to make a change. And he's committed his life to that. I respect him. We have another woman sitting there, Miss Antoinette Dean. They saying that's a little girl, but that's a big grown woman. With many years experience in the banking industry. Very reputable. Worked at Commonwealth Bank and Bank of the Bahamas. This woman has experience. Not only has she done that, she worked with charities, NGOs in Abaco, managing them, helping them to be able to help people rebuild homes, to feed people, to do all of this stuff. They trusted her. So while the FNM was failing us, she was on the ground making sure that people could rebuild their homes. Trusted by these foreign NGOs. And she got it right. Every single project. Not one mistake, not one blimp. Reputable. That's the social side of what she is doing. She didn't have to do that. She was a victim in Dorian. She should have been looking out for herself, getting herself together. She was getting everybody else straight. And Abaco, you all know that. So what are you going to do? Abaco, you can't go to the people who treated us like dogs, who hid our supplies, hid it from us, who hid our donation money from us. Go with the woman who helped people rebuild their homes, who helped people eat, who helped people get their lives back together. Come on, Bahamas. This young man is an international athlete, Mr. Stephen Hall, who has been doing community work in his community, who's been working with young people in his community, who is ready to make a change. University trained, ready to go. What more do you want? Persons with experience in crookery in House of Assembly? With corruption in House of Assembly? What experience? What has the experience done for you? I give you 1 hour in Cat Island. In fact, walking out the plane, in 90 seconds, you will realize why Philip Brave Davis should not be put in charge of this country. 90 seconds out of that plane. Just look around and you will know that that's the wrong man for the job. And he blamed the FNM. You was there as Minister of Works. You. The clinics. Bahamas, we need a change. There's a plan for Grand Bahama. There's a plan for Abaco. There's a plan for Andres. Ladies and gentlemen, we want real change. These people, 70-year-old men who just want to, have another pin to say, okay, I was Prime Minister. Another accomplishment for them, but nothing for us. For all of you people who are busy trying to promote a man, I wish that politicians loved people as much as the people love politicians.
Yes.
I hear people walking around saying, man, it's brave time, man, it's brave time. Time for him to get his turn.
It's our time. It's the people's time. It's time for change.
Don't repeat that. They can screenshot that and say you administer.
Excuse me? I talk about time for change. Right? I talk about minutes time. I already told that. You didn't get any time in minutes. Oh yes. We get tax. We get being moved to. We get no accountability, no transparency, no good governance. We got nothing from Dr. Menace and the FNM to put the Bahamas forward.
But that sounds like exactly what we got under Perry Christie and Brave Davis and the PSP. The same thing.
Yeah.
Everything is listed. More VAT.
Yes.
More lies. More corruption. More international embarrassment. It's the same thing. Oh my God.
But you know what's so sad, Lincoln? PNP and Perry Christie watched did a lot of stuff to us. I thought Dr. Menace was gonna, the little old, we had no hair, it was a little one. All of a sudden, Dr. Menace gone deep into the hole, and he take us more into debt. He take us more into poverty. He take us more into bad treatment. They are not listening to the Bahamian people no more. And you hear what Dr. Menace said? Don't listen to nobody. It's foolishness. They'll have our taxpayers' money, but they don't want us to question them on our money, Lincoln. The taxpayers' money.
What's so amazing again? Everything you just said describes the PSP government.
Yes.
It describes both of them. We went down, we went to junk bonds, we went to, I don't know. I don't know. Where do we go from here? I will let each of you all say the last word before I say the last thing I want to say. Each of you. We can start with you, Antoinette, since you're on the top of the screen.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'd just like to say that, we need to stay strong. We expected what happened today to happen eventually, because we are a formidable force in this election, whether persons want to believe it or not. When we go out on the ground, we're seeing it every day. People are calling me, they are Facebooking me, sending messages however they could get in contact with me. And so I know that change is here. So we just need to stay strong, coalition. Stay strong, Bahamas. September 16th is right around the corner, and we're going to make this happen.
Trevor Green.
I'd like to remind the Bahamian people, when we go to the polls to cast our votes, I'd just like them to consider this. Think about your life. Think about how hard you use your energies working for them, how many years you poured out yourself making them rich. Imagine how hard you have poured your life out making them so wealthy. A pension they give you is barely enough to put food on your table at the end of the month. Your house, you can't paint it, you can't repair it because you have to buy this food. They give out temporary jobs when it's to their purpose. And I'd just like to remind them we are not fools, we're not fools anymore. We have learned from our past. We know what you are doing. We deserve better, and we will take control. We will no longer live from hand to mouth when we have so much resources. We have changed, and now we will change you. COI strong.
Good. Stefan.
Good night to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I just want to thank my teams, the great resilient constituency of West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Lincoln, what was so amazing today is while I was in Bimini, my team in Grand Bahama was on the ground canvassing. While I was in Bimini, my team in the United States of America, was putting together our paraphernalia and packages to get to Grand Bahama. It's the team that makes the unity strong. And I tell people all the time, it isn't about me, it's about the vision. So when the team is coming together so strong, I know that this is the time. This is our time. This is our time to lead. I think that you are a great leader. I think that everybody was chosen for this time that we're sitting right here. I think that we were chosen. I think that our era is now. I urge the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, choose the COI, choose the future, choose the new Bahamas. Change ain't coming, change is here.
My fellow Bahamians, before we leave, I want each Bahamian to look at this. Whenever you go to the polls to vote, this is going to be in black and white. I need y'all to go to the poll and mark your X to the Coalition of Independence. This is a symbol right here, which represent the Bahamian people. This is us. You see the colors? But like Lincoln said, everything is going to be in black and white. So we want to let y'all know this is us, Coalition of Independent, COI. Put your X. If you time now that we've changed the way that both parties were running the government in this country, I am telling you tonight, we have the plan to take the Bahamas to the next level. And with this plan, we want everybody, as a Bahamian citizen, to be able to benefit from every single one of our natural resources in this country. My fellow Bahamians tonight, I'm going to assure you all, the $100,000 can work in each household in this country. I am going to do a show on that, my fellow Bahamians. This was already being investigated by FNMs, John Pinder, candidate.
John sell out Pinder.
John Pinder, could you tell the Bahamian people whether that research that you and Bishop Radisson Patterson and Dwight Smith, Superintendent of Police, was fake or real. Let the Bahamian people know whether that was fake or real. You all spoke about billions of dollars in that same research. John Clinton paging you tonight. Tell the Bahamian people whether that was fake or real. So tonight, my fellow Bahamians, vote for the COI. We got the plan for this country. Good night, my fellow Bahamians.
All right, so 5-10 more minutes. You know, we don't go without allowing people to answer questions, to ask questions. So we'll take your questions. If you have any questions at all, we'll be able to help you with that. I see some people asking if they can vote. You are on the register if you voted last time, or if you registered last time. You are on the register. Vote based on the address that's on your voter's card. All right, vote based on the address that's on your voter's card. So if you voted in an area last time, you didn't change your address for that, vote based on what's on your voter's card, okay? Simple as that. So any other questions? Remember, Raleigh, for those of you just tuning in, Raleigh this weekend. We have a motorcade that leaves at 1 o'clock. So come late earlier so you can dress up your cars, et cetera, et cetera. We're trying to schedule it for Orange Bailey Park. So that's tentative. We're going to put the information out there. Just pay attention as we go live this week. 1 o'clock, we're leaving Orange Bailey Park. And we have the route. I gave you the route already. When we come back, we're going to have drinks, refreshments, etc. And now we can't feed the whole Bahamas, and we expect the whole Bahamas to be there. So while supplies last, all right? But we're going to have drinks and refreshments there. And of course, we need everyone to come out. We need you to show the strength of the Bahamian people. We need you to block out Orange Bailey Park. Block it out, Bahamas. Show up. So 1 o'clock, we're going to leave there. We're going to be back. We're going to do the rounds, be back. We're going to have refreshments. And then at 5 o'clock, our rally is going to start at 5 o'clock. We're going to hear from our candidates, our educated candidates. We're going to talk about a little bit about the areas they're interested in. I want to hear about national security. How we're going to make life different for our officers in this country and how we're going to secure our borders, et cetera, et cetera. I can't wait to hear that from you, Marie Dotson. And so we're going to present that to you this Saturday. So our candidates, all of them who are here, are going to be speaking to you. I'm looking forward to it. All right, questions?
Colin Mafia, suppose the wrong name is next to the symbol. What does one do then?
If the wrong name is next to the symbol, you have to let the returning officer know that's where you're voting, and we'll have to challenge it. The elections will have to stop, right? If that is the case, the elections will have to stop immediately if the wrong names are there. That is a breach of democracy.
Hey, Barbara, what happens if your name changed and you do not have your voting card?
If your name is changed, you mean that you actually did a deed poll and changed your name? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. All right. So if you mean if your name is changed and you don't have your voter's card, you have to use whatever ID you have. But if your name is changed, you should have registered under the new name. That may be a problem for you.
Yeah, deed poll.
Yeah, I advise you to well, you need to have proof that you changed your name. If you're on the register with your name change, have proof that you changed your name and go there with your identification to prove who you are. But don't wait for elections to do that. Go to the parliamentary registrar department and inquire about that. Go ahead.
Patrick asked, what is the name of the site of the election?
Someone said, what is the name of the site? I get it, because they could name. Say it again, Carl.
What is the name of the site of the election? I think they're asking for the Parliament Registry Department site.
Okay, I'm going to post it again. It's elections.gov.bs, I think it is. But I'm gonna post it again now as I get the next question from yeah. It's elections.gov.bs. Next question.
Taylor Simmons asked, will there be any international observers at the elections?
There are always international observers at elections, but their hands are tied. There's only so much can do. Now, if international observers see that there's so much skullduggery, they can, international countries can refuse to recognize the election. And so they can have us as a state that they don't recognize. And so that's one of the reasons they're there. And basically they help out, but they don't get involved directly. And so it's our job to fix what we have to fix. But once they observe and they see something is out of order, they can challenge the legitimacy. So if minister tries to steal the election is obvious, they can question the legitimacy. Someone says, will you implement a Freedom of Information Act? Of course we will. Immediately. We will implement a true Freedom of Information Act. The one that the FNM is proposing, it's absolute nonsense. The one that the PLP proposed before that is absolute nonsense. And you see that all these years, 3 terms about or 4 terms, we still don't have it. You should know why. Next question.
The entire election if this mistake is not fixed ahead of time.
Can you speak louder, please?
Chrissy Brown asked, can you challenge the entire election if this mistake is not fixed ahead of time?
Yes, we can challenge the entire election. We can go to election court. Next question. No, that's out of phone going. Another question, please.
Jeremy Hutchinson asked,
Roy Sands asked, North Andros and the Berry Islands, who are you sending?
Say it one more time, please.
Roy Sands asked, North Andros and the Berry Islands, who are you sending?
Stay tuned. We're working on that. Stay tuned. We'll make an announcement. All right. That's all I want to say about that. So it looks like Wellington Roberts is still going to be on the ballot. We do not recommend that you vote for him. He has pulled out and given his support to the PLP, although he's not done it legally. Legally, you're supposed to send a letter to the parliamentary registrar in order to withdraw. All right. If you withdraw more than 5 days after the election, so after nomination, it is an offense. It's actually illegal. All right. You can look at the same act that I told you about, and you will see it right there.
What happens to the St. Anne's candidates? Will they be added to the ballot? And will anyone check to see if the PLP has a problem?
Yes, we're going to look into all of that. We believe that intentional mistakes they're going to try to make intentional mistakes. And this is what I've been telling you about in a couple of my lives. I haven't given you details, but I think they're trying to find a way to be able to stall and challenge some things. All right. Now, we're going to make sure at each of our stations, when you go to vote, that we have a paper there that shows you, just look for our tent that's set up there. And it's going to have who the candidate is and the logo, the name and the logo. All right, the picture isn't important. The name and the logo, that's all that's going to be on the ballot to make sure you don't make a mistake. All right, so focus. Make sure when you go there, you look for our tent to make sure you don't make a mistake and you carry that piece of paper in there with you. All right, next one.
First, Principal Foster and Renovation asks, if COI won all seats, do the newcomers know how to write laws and pass bills?
I will tell you this, no one in the House of Assembly right now knows how to write laws and bills. All right, that was hell for me, even to get someone to draft the bill first. And that's why we end up doing it ourselves. How it works is the Attorney General's office writes bills. The politicians would say, this is the kind of bill that I want. I need y'all to draft this for me. And they would draft it. So it's like, you want a house? The architect does the house. There's technocrats in there. Some people are thinking that the politicians who legislate in the House of Assembly run the government. That is not who runs the government. There are technocrats and professionals who run the government. And that is how they survive. They are permanent people working in all of these ministries. What they need from the government is policies to say this is the direction we go in, and they turn it over to the technocrats who are the experts with the degrees to get it done. Normally, when you see government failing, is when you see they trying to get their hands in it too much, like the Ministry of Health. When there's interference, that is when you normally see failure. But the Attorney General drafts the bills, all right? I have the knowledge to draft a bill, and that is why I draft the bill to give you benefits from your natural resources, all right? Maria Daxon is also an attorney.
Thank you.
Donna Dawson Major is also an attorney, and we're going to be lawyered up going to the registrar tomorrow to fix that problem. So don't worry about that. So we just need people who are going to fight for you, who are going to negotiate for you, who are going to make laws that benefit you, all right, and let the technocrats write them. That is all we need. Don't let them fool you with this experience and that experience. They are people, it doesn't matter how much experience they have, they're going to be puppets. Next question.
Jeremy Hutchinson, can you explain to the non-believers that building a restaurant or any infrastructure underwater is very possible?
That is very possible. It's done in other countries. They have underwater hotels. Sorry, underwater hotels. There's an underwater hotel in Miami. Underwater, you can go and stay there. There are underwater hotels in the world right now. Almost nothing that we propose to the Bahamian public is original to us, you know. Almost everything that we propose is being done somewhere else in the world right now. With experts who know how to get it done. There are experts right now for everything that we have planned who know how to get this done. There's nothing that we are saying that is impossible or is a dream. It's all doable. Our country has money. We just spend money on the wrong things.
Thank you very much.
I see people posting. There are people, political prostitutes who are taking clips from our plan and just showing the little clip and trying to criticize the little clip, but not showing you the full thing and trying to make sport of it. Well, thank you for sharing our plan. You know, that's perfect. We love that. But get the full understanding. Go on the website and look at it. Look at what we've put out there, and you will see that everything we said is possible. We show you where we're getting the money from, how it's going to be done, everything about it. So stay focused, Bahamas. A new organization with vision and who's willing to stand up and fight for Bahamians is here. Next question.
Jaleesa Oliver asked, what's your plans for farmers in Andros?
And we've talked about our farmers a lot. We're going to subsidize farming heavily because we believe that if you can't feed yourself, you are a failed state. And so we are going to be able to feed ourselves. We talked, even when we were in Andros, we talked about subsidies that we're going to do for farmers in Andros. It starts at $500,000 because, you know, countries like America and other countries, they heavily subsidize their farmers because you need to be able to feed yourself. If we have one big hurricane that also hits Florida, we're in trouble.
Yes.
We're in trouble because we only have about, I think, a 2-week supply of food at any given point in this country. And so we have to be able to feed ourselves, and that's what the plan is, all right? We've already released a lot of our plans, and so we're going to talk about it some more on Saturday, but we're going to let one of our persons in agriculture talk about that stuff. But we're going to heavily subsidize our farmers. We're going to farm on the lower, not the lower, but the southern islands, all right, that are neglected. And so that's some of what we plan to do. Next question.
The mom, will you create laws to protect the Bahamians from these banks charging us to withdraw? I can't. I'm so fine.
Yes. Simple answer. Yeah. Banks have been raping and robbing Bahamians for far too long. Doing things to us that they don't do in the countries where they come from.
Yes.
Exactly.
Those things are going to stop. Antoinette, you have experience in some of these banks, most of the Bahamian banks. But what do you think about these fees and stuff that they're killing Bahamians with?
It's excessive. Right now, if you do a online transaction from your one account to the next between both banks online, they charge you on both sides. So when you send it from one end, you get charged $5.60. When you receive it on the other end, you get charged another $6. And it's going
Wow.
to your own account.
Wow. All right,
If
next question.
yeah.
Chino Dean, where will the renewable energy plant be? Heard it will be the biggest in the world.
The plant, there's going to be more than one plant. There's going to be one in the western side of Andres, all right? One in the western side of Andres, and that's what we're going to be using to actually export electricity into Cuba, etc. One is going to be in Grand Bahama, all right? In fact, there's going to be plants in each island to supply electricity. We're getting away from fossil fuels. So Frankie Wilson and Albert Turnquist and all the others making money from that, I'm sorry, all right? You've had a good life. You've made a lot of money. Some of you, are just about to leave this world. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank God for all the money that you've made, but that is coming to an end. All right. One is going to be in Grand Bahama, which is going to feed two. Just go look at our plan and you'll see the whole thing laid out. One for export is going to be, a couple of them are going to be in Agua. That's going to feed electricity to the Cayman Islands, Haiti, and Dominican Republic, and the southern part of Cuba. All right. But we're going to have solar also in New Providence and other islands for local consumption. And so there will be no cost. Next question.
Can you explain the amount of voters needed to win a constituency from a third-party standpoint?
So for the first time, it's easier than ever for a third party to win, because now you finally have a major third party, all right, who's on a major level. And so when you have three major parties, you don't need, it's easier because if it's two major parties, you need 50% plus one to win. That's 50% plus one. So if it's 1,000 constituents, which is not, it's more than that. If it's 1,000 constituents, you need 500 plus one. So 501, you win. All right. If there are three parties, then you only need 33% plus one. All right, you see how simple that is? So they could get 65% of the vote and still lose. All right, that means the majority of people can vote against. The majority of people can vote against us and we still win the constituency. Remember, this happened with Bamboo Town when there was Brian McCartney, Renwood Wells, and who the other person was? And Cassius Stewart. All right? And so they split the votes, but the person who won didn't have to get the majority. They only had to get the most, more than the other people. Whoever gets the most wins in each constituency. All right? So you need the majority in the House in terms of seats to get the government, but in order to win every constituency, you just need to get the most votes. For the first time ever, this can be done. I hope everyone understands. Any other questions? Someone asks, how long will it take to get, to start getting your $100,000? We have committed that within the first year, we will start issuing checks from our natural resources. It's that simple. Some people say, how was this possible? Because money is already being made. The problem is they're not collecting the money for the country. They're collecting it for themselves. Corruption. They've now started to admit all of the money that's being made. Open your eyes, Bahamas. The money is there to get this done. All right? And so it's going to qualified Bahamians, persons who qualify as Bahamians, and they're going to get their checks. Right? We are also going to be offering certain things like electricity. We're going to reduce the cost of electricity to nothing. We're going to give you water. Water is a human right. We're going to give you internet. Internet is a human right. We've already started working with our technicians on drawing up the grid, all right? The mesh grid that is going to give Wi-Fi internet to the entire island, all right? All of our islands. So you can be on the beach and have Wi-Fi, strong Wi-Fi internet, not data, Wi-Fi, all right? Not big phone data, Wi-Fi. You're also going to get phone service based on that, all right? You're a live phone service right now is a mix of the traditional phone system and internet system. Most of your calls right now on the live is on the internet. And only when the system is kind of overloaded, they go to the regular system. All right. It doesn't cost any extra money. So we're already going to do this. All right. And we want to stress this for all of you. All right. We want to stress this for all of you. We, within the first week, are going to start the process for every Bahamian to get 1 acre of land. You'll screenshot this and share this out. Really, you look up at that camera, because I promise in this and you promise in this. And I expect you to hold my foot to the fire.
Of course.
We're going to make sure this happens.
Of course. My fellow Bahamians, if Dr. Menace and Academ is going to give up 400, how much are it? 4,000 acres in Andres? How much was he's going to
500,000.
500,000. And we have less than 500,000 people. Tell me why each Bahamian can't get 1 acre in Andres.
Each Bahamian adult.
Each Bahamian adult. Why? But he was going to give out 500,000 to those white oligarchs. We have the land, my fellow Bahamian. It is there.
Don't cost nothing. The land free.
Thank you. But only certain set of people can benefit from our land, the people's land, the taxpayers' land, like I was saying. No, we entitled to get an acre. I don't see where my acre is.
When will Bahamian people look forward to seeing a Bahamian-owned hotel? Almost immediately. We are going to invest in Bahamians. Bahamians are going to get real grants from the government, and they're going to be able to invest in tourism and other things, and they're going to partner with the Sovereign Wealth Fund. So as they build these hotels, you're going to get royalties that go to the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and every Bahamian gets a piece of it.
Thank you.
So if we have a Bahamian with a great idea, we're going to fund them, because the biggest problem in this country is funding.
Yes.
Because they have this great idea, I don't care if it's an amazing restaurant. You know, open that restaurant. Okay, you want to bring Red Lobster here to be able to, and you want to give it a Bahamian twist? Okay, we're going to give you the money to open that. The Sovereign Wealth Fund is going to do it. You're showing us that you have experience in restauranting, because we're not just going to give you that to waste it. You have experience in restauranting. You've been a chef. You've done some work. Here's some money. Go and open that restaurant. Make the money on Bay Street or wherever, and you're going to get a part of it, and the Sovereign Wealth Fund is going to get a part. All Bahamians are going to benefit. This is the change that we need. All right. All right, I think we got to wrap up now. They're talking about the poverty line. The poverty line, don't worry about that anymore. We're going to change the game. All right? Someone else is saying if the COI isn't able to secure the victory, hope they don't disband. Let me tell you something. Come out there Saturday and show us that you support the COI. Show them that you support the COI. We are going to win this. We are in this to win this. Now, there are some people that still need to be reached. That's your job. You have to evangelize. You have to spread the message. You have to tell your family and friends, come on the live and experience this for themselves. Ask their questions. If they're not clear on something, ask the questions. We don't rush you in this question and answer period. We should have been home a long time. Of course, we're breaking the curfew every night because we believe that the curfew is unconstitutional and illegal. And so this is our civil disobedience. We're breaking the curfew. Minutes, we're still here. All right? Send your people. Because we have a good bonfire with a tearing up ceremony after the election. All right, I think that's all we can take for the night. I don't want people to think we avoided their questions. But I think that's all we can take for the night. All right, perfect. All right, that's all we can cover for the night. Thank you so much. If persons have questions about, $100,000, how it's going to work, tell them come on our live. They can ask their questions, anything about it. Are we going to make only money from? Are we going to make money from sand, etc.? I saw you put up a question, Cara. You can put it back up if you want to. Are we only going to make money from sand? In fact, in our plan so far, we haven't showed you where we're going to make money from natural resources. We're showing you how we're making money from other things.
Yes.
This is real vision. This isn't about selling sand or selling oil or any of that. We're doing like what Dubai and Singapore did. They made money from ingenuity, from other industries that they went into. Only 5% of Dubai's GDP is oil. So don't let people tell you, oh, they have all this because they have oil. And 0% of Singapore's industries is oil, GDP. They don't have any natural resources. And so that's it. All right. Thank you so much. You're going to be living better and stronger in just a few days. 9 more days to go to the New Bahamas. You got to fight for this. And so we need you to volunteer. If you want to contribute in any way, you can come to our headquarters and you can contribute. Go ahead, Carol.
Before we end, I can't seem to find the question anymore because, of course, there's so many comments. But I Am Domingo was asking essentially if anyone votes for Wellington, since his name is on the ballot, will that vote go to COI?
Yeah, it will technically go to COI, but in the end, if he wins, his loyalty doesn't go to COI, so it technically won't be. It will be a wasted vote. Just stay tuned. We're going to give you an update in short order by tomorrow. We're going to give you an update. All right. And so we're going to tell you what to do if you're in North Andros. But I want you to understand that this is the diabolical evil of Philip Brave Davis and the PLP and the FNM. This is how they operate. This is how they're going to pay off like mafia criminals, pay off persons, in my opinion, to do their will so that they can continue their corruption. No. We need change. They are showing you what they're about. They're showing you proof of what they're about. You see, it wouldn't have been a problem had the person not left and then now saying they have a show sponsored taking money from the PLP. I'll leave that there. You open your eyes, it's on you. I asked you the question, anyone who all of a sudden is taking money from the PLP to do attack campaigns on the FNM or anyone else. This is a political prostitute. And that wasn't directed at one person. That was directed at any person that you now see all of a sudden, because they're using social media persons. They call them social media influencers. There was a meeting where they brought a lot of them together. They have one who's living in the States that they're going to bring over to Nassau, I think this week. All right? They're using these persons as prostitutes to collect money to get paid to lay down for these political parties. Question any of them. Yeah, minutes gotta go. Yeah, minutes gotta go. Yeah, minutes failed. But you have to get paid to say that?
Thank you very much.
I saying that for free, eh? Maria's saying that for free.
I've been saying that for years. For example,
if you have to be paid to come on social media to say minutes gotta go, and you would lay down for Brave Davis, who is the epitome of corruption, I want you to play as we go. I want you to play this video, and we're gonna head out after this. But I'm gonna end with this video, and I want you to see this video, and we're gonna close on this. This is a video from Clint Watson interviewing Brave Davis about corruption in the corruption in the past PLP. I want to say good night to all the candidates who are still on there. The young lady Antoinette Dean, to Stephen Hall, they're still on there. But I want you to watch this video, and I want you to share this video. Get it on WhatsApp. All right, share this video. This disqualifies Brave Davis from running for Prime Minister of this country, other than him neglecting Cat Island. Watch this video, and good night, good luck.